And I feel like we're gonna have some fun with YouTube channel this year. So let's roll it. Let's roll it. I'm excited for that.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, 'cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up. My foot is on your neck.
So whenever Ulysses start talking about it, like kind of basically briefly talking, saying, hey, how do you feel about maybe getting in contract section with Mariners? It was like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, I love this team, I love what we're doing here, I love the city, I love the way that the fans are showing now, I love all the things that we were doing. So it was just, man, if we match up what we feel like I can achieve, like price-wise or like money-wise, I feel like I would definitely be more willing to stay here. I definitely would be willing to stay here, and like, because it was just basically where I grew up. That was kind of basically home for me. So I told that to Yuli, and then like time kept passing by. He kept like asking me more questions about it, kind of like giving me little updates. And once whenever he said, okay, like I remember he was supposed to go watch a soccer game with his daughters, and that's like literally on that same day, or like the day before that, I remember like he called me, hey yo, I'm on the way, like where do you want to meet up to have dinner? And like I remember like he was talking to me about like contract extension, like he doesn't really like do things out of the blue like that, and I knew there was just something going on, you know. And like he started talking, like saying, hey, do you remember I told you that there was maybe kind of interesting, like that we were working it out well, and like it was going at a good pace. And he basically said they might be coming with an offer that we're probably not even gonna say no to. Like after this, like what we last talked, I feel like they're gonna come back with an offer that we're probably not even gonna be able to say no, because it's just exactly what we want, because we're just working it out together. And he was saying like even it's amazing the way that they're working it out, you know. So it just made me feel good that they're not trying to do anything shady to me, you know. So it's just like they trying to like allow me be who I am, like just basically be paid for that. So like now I was like, I appreciate that from you guys, and like I definitely take that to heart, because just like they putting their trust in me, and it's like, okay, I gotta back them up now. And like, how do I back them up? Just having fun on the field, and like just doing what I really want to do. So, and once whenever he started talking to me, and like basically saying, yo, you remember that we talked that there was a possibility of this, and like say they're gonna be able, I think they're gonna make an offer that it's gonna be hard to say no. And once he started showing me all the numbers, all the things, the whole contract, and started breaking it down, I was in my head, I'm like, I got really excited, because I don't know, I don't like feeling, it's not that I don't like feeling comfortable, but you know that things like that can get to you. Like you can feel comfortable somehow, some way. And in the way that I would structure the contract, it was like, okay, like I love that. Like I feel like that's just kind of who I am in the contract. It's like I want to be able to have the upside to kind of take it to the next level, and like being here in Seattle. Like, I don't mind being in Seattle for the rest of my career. That's just a place that basically developed me, and like, you know, that's just a place that I want to be. That day I didn't say it to nobody. It was just kind of me, Ulysses, and like it was just nobody until it was like solidified. Like, okay, it's like done. Once he told me that, okay, this is done. Like I remember we got together that night, and next day he told me, okay, I think this is how it's gonna go down, you know. And once he told me that, that's whenever I talked to my parents and like let them know. Yeah. No, I remember that night. Like once I left the restaurant to leave to my apartment, like I remember driving back. I was really excited, because it was like, man, this is the city I want to be playing in. I love these fans. I love what we're doing here, and like I can get to stay here for like the rest of my career, and like also be paid for it. It was like, man, this is just a dream, you know. This is literally what I want. Now I can really get to play baseball for fun, you know. So whenever I saw that the whole possibility of that, and that really just I got really emotional. So it was kind of cool to just see that all the work that we're putting together. Like I remember all the travels with my dad, 2 hours to just make it to a tryout with the DPL, with Ulysses back then. So like kind of all those stories started to go through my head, and it was like, man, we really have come a long way. So once it was just short little period of time, but I feel like I started thinking to all those things that we just had to overcome to get to that moment. I remember that whole night I didn't really like sleep much, like at all. Like I remember I had to be up early for like to get the physical done and all that. And like I remember I slept while getting the physicals because I was just so hyped throughout that whole night that I just couldn't literally sleep. So I literally was sleeping. The physical was really nice because of that. Like I literally didn't sleep and I slept throughout the whole physical. It was like about 2 hours or so. It was pretty good.
How did you explain it to your parents and what did they say?
So like the contract was a little hard to explain it to them, but they got it done. But they were just really excited. My dad started crying. My mom just started crying too, and they were really excited just because of the same thing. Like I just come from a small town where people don't really make it out like this, you know. So I just feel proud of that, and I just feel proud of the things that we did that led up to this. I just feel like if it wasn't because of all the things that they taught me or the things that happened while I was growing up, but like the people that I've like basically run into, the people that helped me out to basically make my life easier so I can be able to play baseball. So I feel like without them, like those things, I feel like we wouldn't have been the same. So I feel like they just felt really proud of all the work and like it actually paid off, you know. Being in Seattle, I'll never really doubt it. I feel like I grew up basically in the Mariners system, and like I love the city of Seattle. I really love everything about it. I love how chill it is. I love how green it is. It does rain, I know, but I don't think that rain really bothers me, honestly. I like to be chill all the time, kind of laid back, so that just kind of like adds more to the mood. So I really like the city. I enjoy it over there, and it's a beautiful city. Yeah, so like with Ichiro, like Hall of Fame induction, I feel like in the whole season, that was probably one of my favorite moments. It was a perfect timing to, given though that it was around the same time that I signed my contract too, and like just seeing how much the city loved a legend like Ichiro, you know, like I feel like we all should strive to be a player like that, just to be like an icon like that. I feel like we all should be like striving for that, like Hall of Famer. Like he's gonna be a Hall of Famer, no doubt. And just kind of like seeing like his whole career, like the love for the city, his commitment for the city, and like for the team, how he really cared about the game of baseball, how he was so willing to actually keep trying to get better. Like he's really a great example, and the way that he was just talking there, and the way that the fans were just really like, there was like a lot of old men, old ladies, everybody was just crying over there. They just feeling so emotional. And I think it was just really amazing just to see how well connected the whole city, the whole fan base was with just one player, you know. Like by the end of the day, he was an icon that, like, who is not gonna love Ichiro, you know? Like he's just a great dude, like funny guy and all that. And he was amazing at baseball, amazing example. So just seeing like the love that the city showed him, it was like, man, like that could be me out there, like probably like 15, 17 years down the road, you know? So that really got me excited, and like it actually made me even happier just kind of to be there in that moment for Ichiro, you know, one of the most famous baseball players in the Dominican Republic, you know. It's like a whole cross country, like cross, like it was wild. Cross continent, that's what I meant to say. A whole cross continent culture thing. Whatever, we're gonna skip that. But you know, it was yeah.
We'll put the B-roll in there and then overlay the audio.
Yeah, no. So, you know, it was just crazy. So I grew up basically seeing him as I go, and like as the time kept passing by, and like, I met him one time in spring training. He kind of became my friend. So it was just seeing him out there, and like the way that he just tries to give back to people, just help people out, and like just whenever I saw him out there, I was like, man, this could really be me, like down the road, you know. And like I thought that was pretty cool. And like if every player goes down like that, like just imagine how beautiful that would be. Man, so like I'm gonna be honest with you, that was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. I feel like everybody in the city that have been around Seattle have heard, oh, that 21-year-old draw, that 20-year-old draw, that 19-year-old draw. You know, it was just like every time, like it was like a constant thing that was attached to the Seattle Mariners. So I remember even since I signed here, like that was one of the few first things that I remember I heard. I was like, oh, they haven't been in the playoff for I don't know X amount of years. So I was like, man, that's definitely almost as long as I'm alive. So I feel like being able to break that curse, it was that draw, I would say, curse draw, like however you want to call it. It was pretty cool. I feel like just because the Mariners fans really deserve that. I feel like they really care for the team, and I love the way that they go about it. They really support the team, that they really want the team to win. You know, they don't care about anything else. So it's not like they're gonna go there and like just trying to make fun of you or like trying to boo you just because they're not gonna go out there and do that. And like I feel like that's what makes the Mariners fans so special. They're not gonna be out there and be petty. They just wanna be out there and cheer you on and kind of like help you to win. You know, it's kind of like you feel that energy. So I think it's cool. Oh, so with the split, it just in the last game, in the 18-inning game, it was the 2 games that we played against the Astros at home. So in the 18th inning against Montero, I hit the line drive off the wall. I was running the bases. When I slid into second, my finger got caught. It like on the base and like kind of like roll over my hand. So whenever I would roll over, that's whenever like I just felt like it kind of jammed, it hit. But I was like, the only thing I did was like that. I was just hide in the moment. I knew I was feeling that was kind of like pulling on me a little bit, but I wasn't really thinking too much into it. Whenever I went down to the outfield, like I could feel it in my glove. I was like, nah, I just jammed it or whatever. They put some tape into it. I was like, nah, it should be fine. I grabbed my bat. I was like, nah, it feels good. And as the time kept passing by, next day came by, and my fingers started getting more red, more purple, and like things like that. And it's like that's whenever I was like, okay, Taylor, do you think we can take a look at this finger because I think it's getting a little fat. And
Played 10 more innings with a broken finger.
yeah, 10 more innings. Yeah, I made it. No, it was. At least I was able to finish it up, you know. But yeah, that's whenever we wanted to like say, hey, let's take a look at it, and that's whenever it come out like it was fractured. 2022 season was a learning season for me. I feel like there was just so many things that I just didn't know how it worked. You know, first time in the big leagues, and it was fun though. It was really fun, but I had a lot of things to learn. I had a lot of really good teammates, a lot of really good people to learn from, and so it was a learning season. That's what I would say. So in this coming year, we also want to try to give like more insight to the people, kind of like let them know how it really is, you know. And like I know that there's always like kind of like a bright side, and like there's always like the grind part. So I feel like I want to be able to like kind of like let them know what it's really like, you know, and like what it's really like to be a part of me, like kind of like let them in a little bit. And I feel like we're gonna have some fun with YouTube channel this year. So let's roll it. I'm excited for that.